Well, you said the greatest workout you had ever seen was Patrick Mahomes in college. You and the Saints literally saw him and left town quietly because you didn't want anybody to know. One of the things, and explain this to me, I said this yesterday, and I said it this morning as well to a friend. I said, his ability to see something and how long from that instant until the ball is out of his hands seems less than a second. It's a cognitive. He's obviously going 1,000 miles an hour upstairs. When you saw him, you always say it was the most impressive workout. Some of it's just arm. But there's something about his wheels turning upstairs.
Yeah,
I don't think you can teach
I think you're right. Well, it's a gift, and it's something that, certainly it's through practice and hard work, and yet he can process. And I've used this analogy. Some of us get a brand new car, and you've got, 2023 model has got all these seat warmers and sunroofs. And, I'm the type, by the time I turn that car in, there's a handful of those features I've never touched.
Same.
Right. I just don't get to them.
Yeah.
He gets to every one of them. How's your seat in the back left? Well, he's driving, and his left blinker's on, and he's making a left. All right. That's a gift. We felt like we saw the arm talent on tape. Obviously, you see his ability to throw like there. That funny body throw. That was an amazing throw right there.
Unbelievable. That's the one I went to Twitter after that one. God, Mahomes is gifted.
That was something.
What is that?
And so, but when it came to the test or you're trying to grade, how quickly does he learn, you give him a bunch of stuff the night before. We're going to fly in the morning, and then we're going to cover it with you. And what we had given him was more than we felt that he'd be able to, we want you to look at it all throughout the night, look at it in the morning, and then, hey, we'll kind of cover this. And it was 2 or 3 days of install, training camp install day 1, install day 2, install day 3. It'd probably be 74 pass route concepts. It'd be maybe 6 play action concepts, 2 or 3 empty concepts, quite a bit of information. And so the morning started with that, and 2 hours in, it was like we were out of questions. Like he and so the ability to process quickly is a gift, and some of them have it. A lot of them, it's hard to gauge, but a lot of them don't. And when you listen to the acoustics, the center of the guards have microphones now. You guys can hear his cadence, and it's amazing to hear him just. There's 8 seconds left in the play clock, 7, 6, 5, and he's like, 58's Mike. He changes it. Hey, watch him on the run through. It just never stops. Like he's the epitome. And Drew was this way, multitasking, where he can, all of this is going on, and he's comfortable with it. And that's rare.
I got to ask you a coaching question. We can blame the refs. But, Kansas City had more yards, fewer turnovers, better pass protection. Kansas City, to me, is the better team, and I pick Cincy. The punt to Sky Moore. So my takeaway on that was, listen, I would have punted it out of bounds. The minute that thing went up, I went, no. That kid can run 27 yards. It's midfield. My first take is game over. Would you be mad at the special teams coach?
Well, I don't know what the plan was. Usually have a plan relative to, we were always a directional punt team.
Yes.
And so let's see if this makes sense. You've got your 2 outside gunners, and if you directionally punt the ball, let's say to the left, then you're gonna populate that area of the field. Sure. And I felt the same way. The problem here was middle field, no hang time.
That's right.
And so middle field, no hang time is like fastball over the plate
for a good hitter.
Middle field, no hang time, and then the rest is a problem.
What did you make of Burrow got very little protection early? I don't think Joe had a great game, but again, he was the more rush quarterback. Then they made some adjustment, so it got better in the second half.
Yeah, you saw the nudges and the chips and even when the tight end released, there was a little bump before he got out, and the backs got out trying to. The pressure for Burrow was the internal pressure. The problems of Chris Jones. Holy cow! It seemed like the one thing that concerned me, and because I would consider Kansas City a champion. It wasn't too long ago. So they've got a tradition. They've got a quarterback, a head coach. And, man, all week with the yipping out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, a lot of it.
And then Eli Apple. Are you kidding me? So all that going on, and I just kept thinking, all week, and you could see after the game the reaction. That was something.
Kansas City talked about it.
And so I felt like watching – many of the audience won't remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but I felt like Chris Jones was the one whose car got smashed and painted, and he just said, he's just going to destroy the game.
Let me ask you this, though. When you watch the game, Cincinnati's offense, became downfield to T. Higgins, downfield to Chase. They really didn't consistently move the ball on Kansas
No, they
City.
took the fourth down double move shot play to Chase. Who calls that on fourth down? Like an in pump into brackets. So they were doubling Chase. You saw they were doubling him, they were playing a 77 coverage. Two over here, man underneath on the others. And it was more chunk plays. I do agree with you. Kansas City was the better team yesterday.
Yeah.
And they played better. And yet we had all the other noise. It wasn't a clean game from an official standpoint.
Right. You know that. You've been in those.
It's like anything else. You want the game to end, in my opinion, as a fan now, and you don't want to remember who officiated it, and you don't want to remember who announced it. And then you probably had a good game. Right? But if it becomes too much of the official or too much of whoever's in the booth, then you're like, those are accompaniments. Or, something I don't want to hear too much, and that's where I think the top crews, Dance and Romo, do a good job. But not too much there, and not too much from the stripes.
Yeah.
And we want to just see the game.
I did think in 2023, you can't push. You can't get a quarterback on one leg and bury him into the bench.
No, every one of us. There's nobody I don't think that didn't feel that was.
That's a penalty.
That was a foul. Yeah, that's a foul day one.
Now, that's a hard one, though. We got about a minute and a half left. You don't think it's hard?
No.
What do you tell your players on those corner, on the sideline plays?
Listen, here's what we know. Was there any doubt that he wasn't heading out of bounds?
Yeah.
All right. And so when he's heading out of bounds, you got a lot of momentum here. Just hands off and you just run behind him.
Guide him.
Yeah, he's running out of bounds. And so, Parcells used to say dumb players do dumb things. And meaning at the heat of the moment here, the hopes and dreams of everyone in Cincinnati and the team, and this was unfortunate because he played well.
He played well
throughout the game. But I think going to the sidelines, I think certainly with the direction he was going, it was just a mistake he made. And, it's a tough mistake. Yeah,
and I also, it is a game of intimidation. And, I've heard the old saying, you play to the whistle. So I always feel a little bit of sympathy for guys because playing defense, offense is choreography. Defense is blowing stuff up. Ray Lewis used to say this. It's like part of my job was to make people uncomfortable. I didn't want to think too much.
Well, we saw Andy. There was a penalty called on one of the Chiefs' offensive linemen, the whole taunting thing. And all you keep talking about is, man, smart. Just keep thinking about the end game. And so all week, you're wanting to eliminate things that might be the difference. Keep thinking about the end game here. All right? Don't get upset because the lollipops at the bank were great while you're leaving with $500 million. All right? Get out of the bank before you get caught.
Right.
And so I understand the main thing, and that's to win and to win and to win and to play in this Super Bowl. Yeah. And so it's difficult.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.